of points, the most score, the highest priority, we vote on as a proposal. And then if that doesn't pass, then basically it doesn't pass. But we would be required to vote on the highest proposal. Does that make sense? So this got more support than any other option. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Lucy? Lucy? You understand? Did we lose Lucy?
Yes. Yeah. I understand.
Okay, so can we go ahead and see if there's questions? So, well, this was technically a question. So the question would be, why do we vote on this even when it got a 5.5 and did not pass? And the answer is that it was not a proposal. It was just a one option, and we automatically vote on the highest supported option, and that's what this is. So even if no option
I was also
passes at
having the
all,
same question.
we still vote.
I was also having the same question. Why should we vote on something that is less than 6 and above, 6.5 and above? That was also my question. The good that you know.
I mean, everything can be voted on again. We can always vote on things again, but if they don't
Mm-hmm.
pass, we move forward without approving them. So you can always vote on something again, even if it doesn't pass.
Another question: where are we going to get the when we talk of operational pool? I think we don't have enough, and most of our work we base on that money. We don't know right now how much we have internal fund operation fund.
Yes, we know we have about $500.
You have $500, but we are using it for the next the payroll. It was
Correct.
used also last payroll. It was also
Correct.
used last payroll. Remember, it cannot be
Correct.
even 500 right now.
Yeah. So we're using that money absolutely. So the money is disappearing, but we still have at least about $400 to $500 left easily. But that will just obviously disappear month after month after month if we're not doing enough client work to bring in more value.
To pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I think we have something like 300 something because we use almost $200 last. Then this other payroll is still going to use those internal ops.
Yeah.
So
Yes, we're always
it,
using our internal. So anyways, we need to go over all the internal ops. We need to go over all of our business stuff. I mean, there's a lot that we need to deal with that we're not dealing with. But in the context of this proposal, all this proposal is saying is that we want to give Tay $300. Where the money's coming from, we don't have agreement yet. Do you understand? So we're not saying that we will give Tay $300. We're saying that if we can get agreement on UMCUS or taking money from the operations pool or doing negative health benefits and all that kind of stuff, we can get agreement on this. Does that make sense? But we don't
yes.
have agreement yet. All we're saying is that we want to do the $300. So as a team, as a co-op, we're agreeing that we want to do the $300, but we know that we don't know where the money's going to come from yet, and we need to have agreement on where the money's going to come from yet to send it. But if we have the money, we want to give it to her. That's the proposal. That make sense? Like if we have $300, we want to give it to Ate. But the next question is, where do we get the $300 from? Which is a very different question than do we want
Can
to
we
give.
even have other option? Maybe we can vote so that maybe people, if they vote, they can at least consider. Seeing we are in crisis of money, maybe we can have an option of 200, 150.
That's what we just voted
Maybe
on, Lucy. That's literally what we just voted on. Look at lines. If you go up to line 39 to
yes, I know,
44.
but now okay,
So
oh,
the
I
one that
know,
got
but
the
right
most
now,
support is
mhm,
$300.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone voted less than that on all of the other options. Okay, so $300 got the most support, so that's why we're voting on it. Okay, so if we want to re-vote in the future on the options, like let's say that UMCUS doesn't pass, well, maybe UMCUS could pass for $200. So then we can re-vote on that if we want to. But if it passed for 300, obviously it's going to be approved for 200. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
anyways, the whole point here is that the proposal is just like, if we have the money, do we want to pay Ate the $300? So, are there any other questions? What was your last question? We can try to write it down here as well. So, I don't remember what the question was. So, can we vote on $200 or $100, etc.? And the answer is that we already did. Already did. This is only approving paying a Ate if we can figure out where the money comes from. Okay, so shall we go on to the concerns? So lots of concerns. Obviously, this is a lot of money. Plus you look at, plus with the Lucy's money, we're looking at over $635 total, right? That we're trying to work out. So obviously it's more money than we have in the operations now. So Lucy or Ate could fit within the operations budget, but both Lucy and Ate is more money than the operations already. So overall, it's a lot of money. We are having major problems with doing and getting work done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, those would be the concerns for me. And obviously, we do not have agreement yet on UMCUS. No UMCUS agreement. So is there any other concerns anyone can think of?
None for me.
All right. So why don't we go ahead and vote on this, and then we can give a very good, clear level of situation of what's going on here. So also it's very important to note that this is against policy, right? Technically against policy because it requires a loan, etc. So I am not willing to break policy for this. So I am voting a 5.7. So Martins, to vote yes on this, you have to do policy training. I don't know, half hour, 1 hour, whatever. So Martins, are you doing your policy training?
Yep, right away.
Lucy, Ali,
Yes.
Lucy, are you going to vote? Ali, do you want to vote?
Not yet.
Why not yet? Vote now. If you're not voting, say no or something.
Well, no, you just tell us that you don't want to vote. If you don't want to vote, you don't have to. But now is the time to vote. You vote from a 0 to 10 regarding whether or not we should pay Ate $300 for health benefits, specifically for surgery related to a pregnancy, and this will be related to our health benefits. So basically, we're saying we want to pay her for money related to the health benefits. There are some complication things in relationship to the past and all these other things, but technically under our policies, all of that is irrelevant. All that's relevant is the fact that it's technically against policy to take a loan because we don't have the money, but we can borrow the money and go into negative amounts to help her with her surgery costs to be nice and to do the right thing, in essence. Does that sort of make sense? All right, so Lucy's voting. What's your vote, Lucy? Do you want to say it verbally?
I vote 7.
Okay, Lucy's a 7. So how about Ali? Ali, would you like to vote or do you prefer not to vote?
I like to vote.
Okay, what would you like to vote? You want to just tell us your vote verbally?
Okay.
What's your vote?
It's 7.
7. Okay. Ali votes 7. All right, so this barely passes. Barely passes. So I mean, I think that's a pretty good amount of money. I think it's a pretty good clear thing here that obviously this doesn't pass very well. So we're obviously very concerned about spending this money. We don't know where the money's going to come from, but I think this is good to report back to Ate and let her know what's going on and kind of what happened. Okay, so
Okay.
any other questions about what this means for Ate? And I'll send her a
So,
message about it. And if you can put it into the decisions. So both of these proposals go into decisions.
okay.
And then the only other thing is the value for voting on the voting forms for the decision making is $6. There's 4 per month. So if you did every single week, which would be a total of $24 per month for just the voting forms.
On whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
You said what about voting form? You said $24 for what?
For doing the voting forms every month. So every single main session is supposed to have a voting form, and we're supposed to do the
How
voting
many
form.
dollars for the voting form actually? I saw it down here, it says $6.
It says $6.
Now also I don't understand. We have another document that I saw Martin putting the document. Are we now getting rid of another document we use for voting form? I'm so confused. I saw the voting form in a different spreadsheet. Is it not confusing people?
Well, that is part of the requirement for the voting form is to follow the responsibility training. So when you do a
The
voting form,
voting
if
form
you
is not in the right place. I saw it is under the work organizing voting form. When we have our database organizing for all the voting, even if
yeah,
you are not
so
there,
so I would
I
say
saw
that
even Martin. I gave my Martin the spreadsheet.
yeah, so I would say that Martins would not have completed the work and would not get the $6 bonus without making sure the information is documented properly according to the policies. And obviously, Lucy knows how to follow the policies. So Martine should work with Lucy and make sure that it all gets verified and documented properly. Because if we lose the information of the voting forms and we can't verify them, then basically the vote is
the
gone, right?
information is, if you check the database voting form, everything is there. I have added it. You can check it now.
The
I've
Okay,
tab, the
put it
so
on.
work, the tab that you are working is different, Martin. This is
okay,
not the right place.
okay. So
You know,
I need to
the
go
issue
right
is, let
now,
me put
but the point is this can be worked out at a later time. The main
okay.
question is the value. Okay? So the question is when are the voting forms due? Should they be due every week? Should it be due every other week? So like if you skip a week of a voting form, it's not a big deal. You just make it up the next week. Or should it be once a month? Like how often do you think we should be verifying or certifying our voting forms?
Uh,
Like I have an idea. If we have like for this session, we do the voting form. The next session should be certified.
Okay, well that would give you exactly 1 week, and that would be very, very fast.
Yes.
So I mean that would be
Still,
very professional and very fast. So if that's what you all want to do, that's fine. But then in this case, because we didn't do that, this would be $3 instead of $6.
okay, I don't understand. Can you
Okay,
clarify
let's
that,
make it a
please?
proposal. Let's make a proposal. So the proposal would be that the deadline for voting forms would be 0% pay stop. So there's no pay stop on the voting
yeah,
form. But we're still required to have a deadline. So the
Month.
deadline for the voting form would be within 2 days to send out the voting form, right? So within 1 day, well, let's say 2 days to make voting form, 3 days to send out voting form, and 1 week to certify by the next main session. All right. So basically, you're saying that you need to create the voting form within a day after the main session, send it out for voting, and then you certify the vote 5 days later. Okay. That's the proposal.
So that means the we will have like $12 every month for the voting form, right?
$24.
Oh, $24. Okay.
Because it's $6 times 4 voting forms is $24, which is going to be times 2 for the base payroll, which is going to be which gets us up to $48. And that's the current priority level. So obviously it could go down or it could go up depending on our budget and everything and how we want to prioritize it. But right now, voting forms are very high priority because it's the foundation to the co-op. Because we don't have decisions, we have nothing. There's no legality, there's no budgets, there's no nothing. Everything's based on decision making. So it's a very high priority, which is why it's worth $6. But there's no pay stop. If it had 100% pay stop, that would increase it from $6 to $18. But there's no pay stop.
Okay. But there is a voting form I've created that I need to verify. Maybe I'll fix an appointment with Lucy then with you later for last week's main session.
Yeah.
I've included all the proposals.
Yeah. So anyways, do we want to vote on this now, or do we don't need to vote on this now? But the point is that for now it looks like if we go with this with this weekly goal, then this would not be worth $6. This completed voting form would be worth $3.
That is why I'm saying if it is $3, that means it's going to be like $12 by the end of the month, right? That is it. If it is $3, it should be the
Correct.
$12.
Yes, it would be $12 by the end of the month if you did 4 per month at $3. But that's missing the deadline. Every single time you would get $3 instead of $6.
And time to start. Please get used on the session.
And one of the reasons this is a very low amount of pay for the amount of work is because this is an internal operation. This doesn't actually client work.
Okay,
So
when
if this was
the
client work, it would be easier to pay more money, but there's no value in this because this is just our own internal decision making for the co-op. So there's no actual client work here.
So why did we have before $6? It is equivalent to 24. But now that after we have to make sure it's going to be done on time every day end of the week, we verify by the end of the main session it's $3. Why is it reduced to $12 by the end of the month? And now it was $24.
Because if you don't do these things by time, if you don't do the work on time, then it goes down in value by half. So to get the full value of the deliverable, you have to do the work on time. So for example, I have no problem saying that you get 2 weeks to do the voting form. I think that's what the deadline was before, that you weren't required to do the previous deadline was that you were required to send out the voting form within 48 hours or 72 hours or whatever, but then you had 2 weeks to get it verified, right? Or certified. So if you want to do 2 weeks, then the value of this particular voting form would still be $6 because we sent it out within 48 or 72 hours, whatever, and then now it's been about 2 weeks later we're doing the certification. So it took us an extra week, but if we have 2 weeks to do certification, then this would be on time. It would be worth $6. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But the value would still be the same each month. There would still be $24 of value each month. You just get 2 weeks instead of 1 week to do the work. So I'm perfectly fine with the 2-week deadline. I don't care how often the deadline is, but obviously it needs to be either 1 week, 2 weeks, or like 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, we can't see like,
Okay,
oh yeah,
let's
6 months
go for 2
later.
weeks then.
Okay, so we want to do 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay, so then this will be so my understanding is that in this particular case, this will be worth $6 bonus. So just the
Okay.
two of you need to double check and verify that everything is logged correctly in the proposals log and make sure that this is put into the decisions. And then from there, we just you just log it in the bonuses, or not the bonuses, but the deliverables. Oh yeah, the deliverables bonuses, exactly. Cool. So anyway, so this is good. So then we need to do this every week, and then we can have the $6 every week, which would be nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Time to pause.
we don't need to vote
Please
on this because it's basically
close your
just a
eyes.
deadline, and it's
1,
Oh,
2,
yeah.
and it's
3,
basically
4,
the same as before.
5. Open your eyes.
Any other last questions for me before I go? Because I need to
Yes.
go.
Can we send now the bonus out, or we need to verify?
Did we talk about the bonus? We did talk about it, right? If it's ready, send it out to vote. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you want to talk to me about more details, you can, but I'm perfectly fine to just vote on it. And if I have issues, I'll vote no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can,
but as
can
far as
we
the invoice goes,
can
I
we
feel like the
schedule
invoice
then
was good.
tomorrow?
I'm
Can
almost
we
done.
schedule tomorrow for token payroll? I mean token. I want to start to do the token setup. I think we did last time token setup. I would like to continue from where we left on token. Tomorrow, if you are available, Zuri.
No, I'm not going to
Okay.
be available till next week. So I could do a little bit of uh, communication async on Discord, but tomorrow's not going to be easy for me to do work.
Oh,
Also, there's other complications with the tokens because I'm traveling. That's something that's, let's just say, is going to be very difficult to do while I'm traveling. So
okay.
because the tokens are just, I mean, imagine if our tokens worth millions of dollars. It's be working with our tokens is like working on a very, very secure account, which typically has very high level security, which is very difficult to travel with.
Oh
Because
yeah.
we're talking about all of our tokens, but it is technically possible. It's just more complicated, and I can't really do it. There's no way I could do it tomorrow. It'd be impossible. So we'll be looking at next week sometime, or even later on in the month. But anyways, keep checking in with me. We can try to figure out a plan. But we need it. We're going to need to have to, either do multiple sessions, or we're going to need to pre-plan for the session so that I have everything ready, because it's more complicated than it would be if I was home.
Okay.
Okay, Jim.
Any other questions?
No, for me no.
No
Okay.
questions.
So sorry.
You want
One
to
last
check out?
question.
Well,
Okay.
Martine says he has one other question, and then I can check out. Yeah.
Now that we have Sheikh gone and others have refused to even communicate or get involved because of what is currently happening. Since you said you were going for leave, they heard that you were going on vacation, they all went silent.
Take
Every one of
vacation.
them. Only Ali has been showing up.
Time for
Are
breath.
they,
Please
are
stop
this
and get ready. Now inhale.
Well,
Yes.
1, 2.
well, maybe scheduling.
1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
Okay, so a couple things here. One, I have never said that I'm going on vacation. So that's what you guys say. So if you're saying that to everybody, then that's your own problem. I've always said that I'm going on partial leave, which means I'm still working, and I still work every single day, but I'm not working as much as I used to. Okay? So what we should do is we should do two things. One, we should schedule our old world time for, like, for example, Zuri. So we could send out a proposal, see if everyone agrees on Zuri, and then we should start working at Zuri as well as Andromeda and seeing if people are interested in that. And then two, I think we should pass this proposal that basically says, our deliverables payroll will become our primary payroll, in that for all new recruits, they start in the deliverables budget and they don't even get they're not even part of the business budget. And so they basically start at the deliverable budget at the beginning, learn how the business works. Then we could even potentially require them to finish stage 6 before going on to the budget, right? So, anyways, that's the general idea. Um, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we pass that, then everyone can just get started. The budget becomes irrelevant for recruits, which makes a lot of sense because with the new deliverables payroll, the budget doesn't really affect new recruits because they're not even doing deliverables anyways. You know, because they're just doing training, they're just getting started. So I
Okay.
mean, like, in that context, I guess it would be helpful for them to be in the base budget because then they get more pay at the beginning. Anyways, it's just complicated. I think that we start them as in the deliverables, and then we bring them into the base budget within a month or two once they do the training, the official training or something. That makes sense?
Okay.
Maybe. Anyways, we'll figure it out by the new moon, which is why let's set up a Zuri time. We can go on from there. Anyway, so I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna give the
Yeah.
session a. We missed a break. We got through most of the things. We weren't really prepared for some things. I'll give it a 6.5. So the session could have gone better. I'm really glad to see Ali here. So if Ali is the only person we end up recruiting, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It
Thank you,
would be
sir.
very nice for Ali to join us and
Thank you,
work
sir.
with us. We just need to make sure we get the budget and the amounts correct based on the value, and we also have to look at
Your
Okay.
eyes.
the fork model. That's the thing that we didn't talk about today that I would have loved to talk about is the new fork model. So that's unfortunate we weren't able to talk about that, but maybe next week or when we schedule for Zuri time.
Okay.
I will be working on the finances. I'm going to be working on all the assets. I'm going to be working on hopefully the new fork some more and scheduling for possibly Zuri or sometime Old World, and doing some of the outreach for Old World as well for some of the other strikes and other programs I'm working on, and then also working on the payrolls and getting more people paid. I'm also be communicating with then doing recruitment, and there's also recruitment for both English and Spanish. So lots going on. But anyways, I gotta go, so you guys can continue without me. Is that your plan?
Yeah. I would like just to continue the Martin for a while, in specifically about the voting form. Is a
Cool.
mess. We need
All
to
right.
put it in
Well, I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay.
Okay.
No problem.
Martin,
Catch
let's
you
take
later.
a minute break.
All
Then
right.
we can come back. It's just like 5 minutes. I would like to
Okay.
show
No.
you on that.
Good. Good. Good.
Okay, let's
You
take
might need to share your screen with me, yeah, when you
pardon.
come back. You might
Okay,
need to
five
share
minutes.
your screen in a 5 minute
Yes.
break.
Okay.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Okay. Let's wait for Martin. Another evening.
I'm available. I've been around.
Okay. So
Please share
last
your
time
screen.
I show you, let me share my screen. Last time I actually show you where you should put the word. You have created the work organizing. Yes, you should not transfer things there. No, we have where to carry even the main session. All these things is really confusing. We should not have main session on this document here. No, we should not have this here. No, you should not have this. Maybe if you need to have a responsibility, this information is always on info. It should not be like a responsibility training voting form. No, that is also no. The our all, even if you are not present today and I show you, this is the only thing. Anyone who is in a collab go to voting form primary monthly database. That is where all the information should appear. If you want to have something like work organizing, the work organizing should have notes and info, maybe responsibilities. This is not the responsibilities where you put the responsibility. It's wrong. If you want to put the responsibilities here, it's just say responsibilities and you state those responsibilities, but not form. The voting form primary and session is under the info, where
Time for
always you
breath.
get the
Please
information.
stop and get
And
ready.
the session
Now
note.
inhale.
This
One,
one is not supposed to
two,
be here.
three. Exhale. One,
This one
two,
all.
three. Pause.
All these
Inhale
things you copy
together.
from the
One,
other side, you
two,
bring it this
three.
side, which is
Exhale,
very
relax.
wrong. We have this thing, this primary database that carry all our information. I even told you, you told me you are going to make a note. When you open the primary database, we have this list of the monthly moon month. We have the current status. You know, like for example, for today, if your vote is certified, it is written here certified. Here. Now we have this monthly. This was the old. I was doing like this. Then Jay showed me it should not be like this. That's why you see 38. That was 2023 old. This when Jay was coming up with this, and we put that on all. We come up with the. If you go to info, we have this responsibility organizing on info, and that
Okay.
you are the thing that you need to do, like your responsibility organizing this one, work organizing should come here, and it should not have all those information. I think we are going to get rid of all and put the proper information to avoid uh, making other people, maybe they will not understand why we have this. This is the work organizing. So we will have to get rid of information that you put. That's the wrong information that appear here. The most important work appear there is session note. Session note, the session that you work that day. So that means we have another main session now. So now when you come to this one, list of organizing, I even show here, you create for that month. April, it is there. April, you created, right? April, May.
Mm-hmm.
Who created this? April, May. Are you the one?
I created this. Yeah.
Okay. Is the ownership was verified here? When you put the ownership verified, that means you are not owning that document in your email. It is owned by the organization. If it is verified, you say you put it verified. If not, you put not yet. That document need to be verified. In our case nowadays, we transfer. If you have transferred the ownership, you put yes. Then you come here, you click. Let's click on this, the one you created. The one you created. Yeah, you did good job. I don't know. It's supposed to be like this. The one you created. Admin tab. You need to have voting responses. No, not this one. No, no, no. It's just the
Times
way.
pause.
This is
Please
also
stop.
wrong.
Close your
You
eyes.
link the
Count
work
one,
organizing. Surely
two,
no.
three,
You link
four,
wrong
five.
thing, Martin.
Open your eyes.
The easiest thing always to do. You go back. How was the other one was done? You like, for example, just come here. Where is it? I'm still on work organizing. Yeah, you can go to this one, the one I was making it. You open. You make a copy for that. When you make a copy, you make a copy for this one. It should have the info. The info, it has the primary database. That's why it's good to just make a copy. Then the session note. That is the session note for having those sessions for the main session or any
Mm.
emergency session that have those proposals. That is where those sessions appear, not the session for that you have that day. The session that you have in that day is appearing just on it's just like any other session like today. It's appear on work organizing. Then for example, it was April, May. You make a tab like this one, and then you link the response, editable link, responses, analytic this. Then it goes up to the end. If it was about HR, it was about HR voting, you come here, you link the information for that. Not work organizing. You make wrong thing. Let's say we can make a copy for this. Let's make a copy because that was wrong. Then say the correct. For this case, I'm using organization email. That means I will put yes. It is and this was for March, April. It is April, May. I don't know which degree are we. April, May, which degree are we? 130, 131, 113, right?
Mm.
113.
One 13.
For no, I think not 113. No, no, no. It's for what? Is it 344? Something like three. No, no. You know what?
344.
344. I think something of that will verify anyway. Let me just put like that one now. Then that will be May. We say April, May 2025. Then I here I can say the voting that you did. When was it?
Uh, um,
It was
this
when
is
that day
May,
you did it.
May,
You did it.
May,
Hmm? No, no, the day you
May,
did. May what?
May,
May.
May 8, May 8 slash May 10, May session.
Time
What
to
was the
take a
session?
break. Please stop.
May session. May session.
Remember what you're about to say.
May
Take a
May
break
what?
for
Which
6
date? May
minutes.
8th. to
wait,
me.
Lucy, wait. I think if you go back to the work organized, I already have this information there. That means we might need to delete it if we are making use of this one.
No, that is the work
What?
organized. You can just bring that was the work organized. If you put somewhere, you should post paste it here. It was work organizing that you confuse. You put it right. Like now, this one. Oh, let's see on your work organizing. You put it where you put this one is need
Voting.
to be deleted.
Check
Even
admin tab session.
this one need to be deleted as well. This one, no, it will confuse next people. This one, no. This one, there is nothing here. This one also need to be deleted. Should not be here. This is just work organizing.
Okay.
Where is it so that we can copy? If they're
No,
ready, we
admin
copy.
this admin tab is there.
This one, editable
Yes.
link. Is this the editable link, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, uh, uh so we copy this thing, then outcome. When is this outcome? You for today? Outcome the
Yes. Yes.
tally.
Yes. Yes. Response. Yes.
Outcome is not
Tally.
this one. Okay, let me tell you now. The outcome responses. This form is supposed to be here. Do you have this form here already? This form is supposed to be here. The outcome is the link for today note. The outcome, the link of
What
today
about
note.
tally? What about outcome slash tally? That was the reason why, because I tallied it. You can click
Is
on it.
the outcome where we certified it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, anyway,
Okay.
so it's fine. Let me copy this the way it is, like this here. Then now, like today's session, you put it here. Like now, this is when the result was certified, when the date, and then you put the link for today here down here. All is done it on the spreadsheet. Let's copy this. We copy. We go to the spreadsheet that I was creating. This one, this you paste this here. Then now it was 8 May 8. It's supposed to be 8 stroke 9. Then now you have this. When you have the next, if you have the next one, it should be for this voting will be here again. It goes like
Yes.
that. You will be like that. So now
Yes.
this link, I first need to link it on our main voting form. Where is it? Where is it? Voting form here. I should now link it here. This was not correct one. This was the work organizing. It's not supposed to be here. It yes
Okay.
because I did not use my personal email. I used the organization email. That's not my email. So I put it yes. Actually, it is not this degree here. Is
No,
uh
334.
three
344.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's done. Come to current. Current mean here. So now it's also here. We need to. You also need to put 344. Then you already put this link to vote, right? What is link to work organizing? No, link to tab. You
Okay.
know this link to Martin, not this one, eh? The tab that
Okay.
you it information. For this case, you go to our the one we created now. The tab here. This is the link to tab. When someone
Okay.
click, you just copy this link where they have
Mm.
information. You take it link to tab. You come here. You link to tab. And status here. Status was certified, yes, because it was certified. Now, you put now here 100%, and you put people who did not vote. Here is
Okay.
0%, and here you name people who did not vote. Like for example, Lucy and who else, Ate, and maybe let's say Sandra. I don't know if they voted. Yes, anyone
Abubakar.
who did not, you put there. And
Abubakar.
here Abubakar, okay, Abu Bakar. Then now here link to vote. You put this the correct one? Was this right? Yeah, yeah. This no, that's wrong. You put yes. You put the link to to edit. No, you put the link to vote. Link to vote is different. The link to vote, let me go to the work that I copy paste here. Link to responses, link to vote. This is the link to vote. I hope you put the right one. Link to vote. No. So your
Link to
link to
that's
vote is
it up there. Look, that's it up there.
link to vote. Where you paste it is supposed to be link to vote. The link you link here and on this the same. By the way, link to vote. This is not the link to vote. This is link to edit. Here is support link to vote. Where some if somebody yeah, this one, this link you
No,
put
okay,
it on
come
that.
back, come back, come back. It's there. Come back.
Four
It is
o'clock.
not there.
Time
Go
to
I tell
start.
you,
to
it's not there.
Used on the session.
This
go
link
to
supposed to be appear here and also appear here. The
click
one
on it.
you put
Click
it
on it.
here.
Click,
No, I
click on
put
it.
it mine right now. Okay. It was like
Click
this.
on
When I click it, this is the link to edit.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you should put link to vote.
Go to the voting
Let
form
me
again.
put
The
let
one
me
I
let
created.
me put we just put link to vote. Whereby somebody should not edit, just link to vote. I just you just link it here. Here. You link it here. You see online B. Whatever you link online B is supposed to be the same with the online C. Like us to your responders. Whatever is online B is the same to be online on this line. Even here, what is this here for responses? It's supposed to be the same. No, this is also wrong. Yeah,
No,
this is
click on
correct.
come to the tab here. You can get a link to vote on the top menu. It's
So
there.
now we don't do like that. We just make sure link to vote is link to vote. It's here, it is here. We just don't assume people knows. And link to responses is coming here and here. It take you direct to the responses, not to the spreadsheet. Whatever is, I'm telling you, the link that you put it on column B, it should be the same with the link you put it on column C. It's just that on column C you just put link direct, but on column B, you link it under the name that written responses someone can understand.
Okay.
Yeah, here is wrong. Let's see if it is not a spreadsheet. This is wrong, it is not a spreadsheet. This is need to be spreadsheet. So that is we delete. We open this link. You put it on here. You copy this. You copy this link. Then you put it here. The same link that you put it there supposed to appear the same, like this. Let's see here. Link to this one. I think this was the only one you get it correct. This is correct. You link it correctly. Link to vote. You edit. You put it the same that correct. Yeah, both of these are correct. Yeah, that was the one that is correct, and that is good. Then after that, let me reduce so that it's very very important to have those things together. Otherwise, it's going to give us hard time. After having this, so what next do you need to
Time to
have?
pause.
Here,
Please stop.
this need to
Close
appear
your
here.
eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
This need to appear here. Here need to be the note that you work, the note for these sessions. The notes that you put it on, I saw it, you put it here. It's not supposed to be there. You put it where? I saw it. Let me copy. This was the session, right?
Mhm.
It was the session only one. If you have more session for that, you should appear there. The session should appear there. You take the link. This was link. You put this link here. That was link for that session, and the name for the session. I go back to your work organizing. You take this was the main session. If there were other main session, you take the here, then the name of the voting form. Then now here, it should carry the name of your voting form. What was the name for your voting form? Here, this
Main
is the
session,
name.
session
No,
voting form.
it is AMCA's budget proposal form. Was that the right one? Uh-uh.
No. This is not my own one. Go back to the edit form. Edit
No,
link.
no, no. I don't want even to Google. I want to confirm if whatever was linked there is correct.
That
All
was
of
go
them.
back. Yeah.
I'm
No.
here.
Not
No, I'm here because this is where your work is.
edit.
I want to confirm it here. If you link the correct thing, it was linked correctly. Yeah, that was correct. Then let me see this one. This link should be the same as well. Let me see this.
It's
No,
different.
you see now, you link the wrong
No,
note, guy.
I didn't put it to you, just put it to Lucy.
No, no, I did not put this. Sorry, I did not link anything. This is check on column B. I did not touch anything on column B. Even I cannot do and see. You link the wrong thing. On this one, this is the correct thing on column C. The
Maybe I
correct
didn't.
on column, yeah, you link the wrong form. Let me take
Okay.
this one. This was wrong. Let me remove. That's why I was
Oh,
wondering where should I get this.
so that was why I was
Let
telling
me
you that
put
share
that.
me to remove it. It is not even part of it. Remove the entire link. Let's go to the editable form. So that I can copy the
It's
link
okay.
there.
It is here. This one I pick it. I pick it. That is I remove. That
Link,
was
go
the
to
wrong form. So
Time for breath.
so
Please stop and get ready. Now
let's
inhale.
continue.
One,
I hope you are
two,
getting.
three. Exhale.
yeah.
1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So you come here. We are still on this. So it's about what sessions. Here we put the session, the name of the voting form. This is the name of the voting form. It's not supposed to be Lucy. Actually, this is not how the name of the voting form should appear. Actually, here the name should just say um, main session previous, main session this and previous. That is it. And this here it should be the same to this as well. It's always the same. The title here should be the same with the title here. So this is the name now. You put it there. You put it on this one. You put this here. This is now the name for this. Let me reduce. This is the name. The name was main session previous and May. Actually, you don't have to put
That, that
May.
is precious,
We
not
only
previous. Precious.
we only put if it is May, you just say May 8 stroke 9. That is it. No need of putting more. Now the name of the tab. The name of the tab, it is this name here. May 8. This one just come, you copy. You put it here. May 8. Was it 20? Yeah, this is it. That's the name. Come here. And here. I don't think that I left anything here. Let me see. You can even put the work organizing here. I've seen you have the work organizing. This one in it will delete a lot of things. Info. I'm just putting your work organizing that you create here in case someone want to use it. We'll just make sure it's getting organized. This is how the voting form should appear. All the information in one place. Even the next vote should be the same like this. The next that was for last the last whoever is doing the next voting form, it should be appear here. It will be today May what? May just for example May 2020 May 23,
Time to pause.
22
Please
stroke
stop.
23.
Close your eyes. Count 1,
So
2, 3,
uh,
4, 5. Open your eyes.
I can copy this. I will only change the up there. This is not HR board. This is here should be me like this. May, here is me. May 2022 stroke 2023. So that is it. So that is how this is gonna work. So this work organizing, all this should be deleted. No, it's wrong. Even this one, this is wrong. This responsibility. Actually, this is not the responsibility. Info. If you need to have the info, maybe this is will be like a repetition of the information that is there. Okay, then you put info. It's not a responsibility organizing. This is info, and it's always here. Then the note for uh-huh. This is the note. I don't know why. Is this the sessions? What was this for? Uh-huh.
That was another voting form.
Or session for you and Ali?
Mm. No,
Yes.
that section was just where we started working on creating voting form.
You just a note. You just put note like this.
Yeah,
You
session
can
note of
just put
voting.
the note. You can just put the note like this, and that is it. You don't need more thing like to complicate. Just the note, and all these dates not necessary. It's easier for anyone to do it. Just note. Any person working on there, I think you have to note. Let me first get another note. This one, the other note. Because all of this is coming somewhere. You put this note, then like the way we do the note. The note always for work organizing should be simple. You should not have more thing. Uh, you should not have link to vote. This link, oh no, just one note. Like then you get rid of this. That is it. Then this is how it should appear. So any other person that work on voting form will add their note here, like the
Time
note
to
for that
stretch.
day here.
Please stop.
Please,
Stand
Lucy,
up.
what information you deleted, please open it before you delete. Let me confirm. Go back to the information you just
I
deleted.
did
The
not
link.
delete. I did not delete here. That here. I did not delete any notes you have. Those are
No,
two
that was a
information.
form.
I
No,
just
that was a form rather. Link
this is
for
just,
form.
this is just link
So form link. That's a form link. You see, there are different
form
forms.
link.
Yes.
Then
No,
that
go to
was
form
wrong.
link.
If it is the
Tab E. Tab E. Tab E.
which form?
Column E.
Wow,
Yes.
which form is this? That is also wrong place for the
That is
form.
another
Do you
form.
see? It
Yeah,
is
so
not.
this
It's
over
not. See,
with
it's
me. It's
not.
not.
This is not supposed to be here. Voting form. Maybe you just have to get how to organize it. Which form was this?